Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Ajna Chakra, Anterior and Posterior Pituitary Glands. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature, with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Divyank is a reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Ajna Chakra. Sat Chakra Nirupana is the ancient Indian book of Tantra, well established, well accepted, well quoted, and literally used by all the people who are interested in Tantra Vidya. Sat Chakra Nirupana, one of the nice document is The Serpent Power by Avalon, and this particular picture, symbolic picture, is taken from that particular book. For that matter, all the pictures which I have taken of all the chakras are from the same source, which is more than 100 years old. And the question of copyright does not arise. But it has been a source of information or rather wisdom for many of the authors around the world. Now let's understand this particular chakra. You can see only two white lotus petals by the side of the central picture. Why there are only two, I do not know. But to make it clear, let's review. Muladhara chakra is shown with 4 petals, Swadhisthana with 6, Nabhi and Manipura with 10, Anhata with 12, and Vishuddhi with 16. Why 2? I have no idea. Anyway, we will elaborate on it in the next slide. Second thing, this 2 lotus petals have got 2 aksharas, the 2 letters written Ha and Sha. Then the seed mantra for this particular center is Om. You can see Om ingrained within the triangle, a trikona pointing down in this particular picture. It's very interesting to see the ascending order of Bij mantras. Muladhara, Lam, Swadhisthana, Vam, Nabhi, Manipura, Ram, Anhata, Yam, Vishuddhi, Ham, and here you have Om. People who understand the beauty of Sat Swaras will be able to understand and appreciate the beauty of these particular phonetic sounds or Bij mantras. The Manas, the moon or Hamsa, is represented with the moon right on top of the triangle. Trikona or triangle represent Itra Linga, you can see right behind Om. And it represents Antaratma within the Trikona, which is shown as a Shivling. And it is also written that this particular center is located between Muladhara and Brahmandra. Muladhara we know, Brahmandra is the part of the skull through which Atma enters according to Aitreya Upanishad, and Brahmandra's entry is very blissful and calm. We have spoken about it earlier. It's just a reminder how things are really falling into the place. Then you can also see brilliant, lustrous fire effulgence coming in this particular picture. It's really full of white light. Presiding goddess is Devi Hakni with 6 heads, 6 faces, and 3 eyes. Each face has got 3 eyes. And there are 6 arms, and she's sitting on a lotus flower. The presiding deity is Param Shiva with Shakti. That means it is both Shiva and Shakti together are given importance in particular center. Whether these 2 chakras represent that, I would not get into detail at this particular juncture. We will leave it. Translation or transliteration of Sat Chakra Nirupana with a graphic presentation on top for the benefit of people who are new to Tantra Vidya. As I've been saying, that one of the things which has been used against Sanatana Dharma, deities, gods and goddesses in the form of human forms, animals and plants. I have tried to translate all animate, semi-animate into inanimate form, and this is the inanimate translation or transformation of Ajna Chakra by me. In this particular picture, you can see there are two petals on either side. So they represent the two petals, what you see there. Right in the middle, you can see the symbol which actually is yin and yang, which represent Shiva and Shakti. That means Param Shiva and Shakti is represented there. One more petal on top, it represents connection at the center with the higher center, which is hidden there, which I will not disclose at this juncture. Let me talk about it little later. And down you can see two things. That means this chakra is connected down. The lotus flower on top is pointed up and this is pointing down. But in the picture, the last, you can see that trikon or triangle is presenting down. That means the descent of Mahashakti is responsible there. Now, part on top actually is hypothalamus, as I've written there. From hypothalamus to the pituitary gland, you have a portal venous system which is called hypothalamus, hypophyseal axis. That means the blood comes from hypothalamus into the pituitaries through a portal. That means a portal system is unique where you have capillaries on both the ends. That means there are capillaries in the hypothalamus which collect releasing hormones from there and go and deliver those releasing hormone to the adenohypophysis, which is the anterior pituitary, for the formation of growth hormone and prolactin, the two hormones, plus stimulating hormones, 4. Follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, as well as ACTH, adenocorticotropic hormones. Interesting. Now I'm trying to convert spirituality into science with the help of neuroscience, which are anatomy, physiology and biochemistry, what I understand from the perfection angle and deviant light. Adenohypophysis is the genuine endocrine gland, which is anterior pituitary, which produces those hormones. There is a posterior hypothalamus, is called neurohypophysis. It is not an endocrine gland. It is just collection of nerves which originate from the hypothalamus and come to this, and two hormones, ADH, vasopressin, and oxytocin, are produced or synthesized in hypothalamus and then stored here and released from here. So now I'm making for the students and interested people to understand how beautiful is the divine design of our nervous system, endocrine system, or the entire body by and large. But according to Akhand Vidyashram or me, the number of lotus petals should be 28. Why 28? Let's not go into detail at this juncture. Remember that I'm going to talk about it with some mathematical calculation and its association with the different planets. And in this particular thing, as I've written under this, is a close association with the asteroid belt. As I've told you, Muladhara with Earth, Swadhisthana with Venus, Nabhi and Hata with Mercury, Usha and Anahata with Sun and sunlight, Vishuddhi with Mars. Next planet is Jupiter, but I do know you have asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, and hypothalamus represents asteroid belt, where the next chakra on the higher, which is going to Vigyan Chakra, represents the Jupiter. It would have 52 petals. Why? We will discuss with detailed description in the mathematical calculations. But hypothalamus is on top. Then brainstem. This particular center, along with anterior and posterior pituitary, is also associated with brain stem, and particularly relationship is the ascending activating reticular formation, and which is associated with rising of consciousness and also called Udana Prana. Now, how beautifully things are falling into the place, and how ancient Indian wisdom was much better than modern science which we know of, have revealed even things which are not known to the medical profession, so that the next future research into neuroanatomy, neurophysiology, neuropsychology, neurohormones, neurotransmitters can be much better than what we have on today. So these particular videos should be taken as the make-believe ideas so that research can be done and we can prove this, and in the process we prove the ancient Indian wisdom that it was the highest impeccable wisdom of the nature, beautifully described. As I spoke about Udana Prana, you have seen this picture earlier also. The rising of consciousness, ascending reticular formation, is associated with throat, that means Vishuddhi Chakra, brainstem, that means Ajna Chakra, pituitary, again Ajna Chakra, and hypothalamus. So, energy which starts rising from throat, Vishuddhi, to Ajna, to Vigyan Chakra, Pragyan Chakra, and to the highest Kamte is what makes evolution of the higher level much easier. And that elation is what Kundalini awakening, Kundalini ascension, and enlightenment is all about. We will be talking about it in subsequent videos. Now, the real beauty of anatomy and physiology Ajna Chakra is you have, as I've said, anterior and posterior pituitary glands. Right, you can see on the left side picture I have written hypothalamic hypophyseal axis, which is the portal system which I am talking about. All the things actually start in the hypothalamus, which is Vigyan Chakra. Now you can see from there portal system on the left side, which is going to anterior pituitary, and the nerves going to the posterior pituitary. So now, as I put on the down, pituitary gland, there are two components, anterior pituitary gland and the posterior. Anterior is called adenohypophyseal, means genuine endocrine gland. It synthesizes prolactin, growth hormones, secreting hormones, luteinizing hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, ACH and TCH, thyroid stimulating hormone. B, a second part, posterior pituitary gland, which is neurohypophyseal, already spoken, stores and releases oxytocin, ADH, vasopressin to be released as and when required. Right side, you can see Ajna Chakra, the brainstem, unconscious and subconscious centers. They are responsible negative feedback mechanism, positive feedback mechanism, and look, all the both negative feedback and positive feedback mechanism centers are located in Ajna Chakra, and they are responsible for basic instincts of self-survival. The whole thing designed such a way that when you come to this particular center, you can survive. This is more or less right up to this brainstem, along with spinal cord, is also called reptilian brain, which has got all the nuclei for self-survival. No wonder all the reptiles do not need any doctor's help. They know what to do and what not to do and how to treat themselves, because they're all ingrained that. Same thing I also know from my own experience. If you are purely conscious about reptilian brain part of our nervous system and make it totally integrated, perfectly healthy, without any problem of diabetes, hypertension or otherwise lifestyle diseases, you do not need any medicines for any problem, This reptilian brain with all the nuclear endocrine glands associated with it can take care of your physical, emotional and mental health. And that's the reality. Now, as I've told you, endocrine glands are also associated with autonomic nervous system. So, part of the brain stem, you can see you have sympathetic system represented in brainstem as well as hypothalamus. I have already spoken of it. Posterior hypothalamus is sympathetic in nature, and then higher than that is the central autonomic nervous system, which I have already spoken. From there, the association is with respect to this particular chakra, which is makes you wake up to the higher consciousness or living consciousness thereafter. So this is associated between the eyebrows and from my own initiations, I was given an experience at this particular center only by Maharishi Vetatri by keeping his two fingers between my eyebrows, which is closely associated with Ajna Chakra, pituitary gland, center for autonomic in the brainstem. Please see that, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand. And that sympathetic system will make sure that we have more than enough energy, better blood pressure, better volume, blood, everything. Makes you very alert, attentive, intelligent otherwise. For intelligence, ojas into tejas, this center plays very important role to go, and that is why it is associated with Udana Prana too. Having said that, with respect to sympathetic stimulation, which is to mobilize energy for higher evolution, for survival as well that, this center is very close to the nature Ajna Chakra. As I have told you, brainstem has got all the ganglions of cranial parasympathetic nervous system. Brainstem has got nuclei for oculomotor cranial nerve, third, which is for eyes constriction, pons for facial nerve, and medulla oblongata for glossopharyngeal as well as vagus. So all the four pairs of cranial nerves out of the 12 pairs of cranial nerves predominantly are cranial parasympathetic nervous system, and they take care of all the vital functions of the body right from top to the bottom completely. They are responsible for rest, digestion and conservation of energy for future use. They are calm and quiet and help you to focus on higher chakras, higher center, and remember things and record those things in the 100 billion neuron cells into 20,000 memory synapses to give you the kind of power which makes human being the greatest creation of nature. I have already spoken about it, and this is just replication K, both sympathetic as well as parasympathetic, particularly cranial parasympathetic, has very close relationship with Ajna Chakra and higher centers one by one. You can see these details. Vagus down right up to Manipura Chakra. And this picture is the just repetition of that. Now coming to the last picture, as usual, thank you very much for kind, but you can see all the chakras right in the middle. You can also see Eden Pingla, you can see Sushmana, you can see other things, and you can, in this particular picture, you can see Agnya Chakra, and right in the middle, right up to this, when descent of Mahashakti or Kundalini actually is showing descent, is not showing ascension completely as such. This particular pathway, it could be such that it is only seeing the descent of Kundalini or Mahashakti to make a difference. Now, right at the bottom you can see Muladhara Chakra, then you have Svaristhana Chakra, you can see Nabi, this, then Usha, Anhata, Vishuddhi and Ajna. And you can also see Vigyan, then Pragyan, and then Sahasrara Chakra. And as we proceed to the next stage, we'll be able to understand and appreciate something which is not revealed in Satchakra Nirupana. Right up to Ajna Chakra, barring Usha Chakra, have been described. Like Ajna Chakra is shown here as the sixth one. But according to Satchakra Nirupana, it's a six with 6 heads. But according to Akhand Vidyashram, it is the 7th chakra in ascension. Additional is Usha Chakra. Now from that, I leave it at that so that you can contemplate on this, remember it better, so that we can understand the coming chakras much better. So thank you very much for kind listening, and I'm sure it has been very, very useful for the people who are sincerely looking for impeccable wisdom to create documents uniform from school, college, university to the world. That entire world speaks in one language and there is no confusion for any student anywhere in the world. The prime objective of Akhand Vidyashram is only that, impeccable wisdom for the entire world, which has absolutely no confusion, no deficiency, no defect of any nature. It is a conscious or superconscious effort on my part to leave behind the legacy of something which is impeccable, which I have got by decoding Vedas, Upanishads, and Indian scriptures. I am not pointing fingers at other religions of the world because religion is not my cup of tea. And I'm interested only in ancient Indian wisdom because I'm born and brought up there. I understand it better. I'll be able to decode the wisdom from Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures in the light of mathematics, in the new graphic presentation of art form to avoid the ambiguity of language medium so that each symbol stands for one knowledge, impeccable, and nothing more than that. That uniformity, that consistency is the prime objective of Akhand Vidyashram. I will leave it at this juncture and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share my experience for the love of the world.